All right, we're just going live. I can't wait anymore, man. Sometimes these games are so weird and wild, and you don't have enough of these moments that you gotta take advantage and talk about them, man. It's God, what a weird day in football, and what a Browns win that Brad Ward called middle of the week. Was believer in it. You kind of moved me, Brad, over to the side of feeling like this could have a San Francisco 2023 vibes when they came in undefeated week 7 and some little bit of weird weather popped up, and it was almost the same thing except for the Browns had to actually, kick a field goal to win it versus get a field goal miss to win it, but they got the blocked. I don't know, man. That was wild in just about every sense of a game, from feeling like, Brad, this is like, I guess I would say it's the same thing as maybe flipping the results of week 1 and week 3, right? Where you should have won week 1, you let it slip. And then this one, That's felt fair. Like the Packers let it slip away. Yeah. I think, Brad, probably if they just punt on the Jordan Love interception, it's a different outcome, but it doesn't matter. Who cares? None of it matters. The Browns won. And I can't believe they had your boy, the kicker, man. Just when you want to give up on him, they find a way to just reel you back in, and he split the uprights smoothly throughout the game.
He did
on his opportunities. I don't know. That last 2 minutes is just about as crazy as it gets. Hell, the Jets just did the same thing to Jets just did the same thing to Tampa, blocking a kick and returning it. This is nuts. It's nuts.
3 blocked kicks in the last minute. Do I sound okay?
Yeah, you sound great, man. We're live, Brad. What are you thinking? Let's go. What do you got? Give it to us. I didn't know where you were after the game. I thought you might have run out in the street.
I almost did. My range of emotions can't take it. My heart can't take this. From feeling as down and depressed about the offense to pure joy. It is the opposite of week 1. They really, I mean, the defense deserved that moment, a play like that from Delpit. Like, they played their ass off. The defense did. Regardless, I thought they played a great game. And for Delpit to get that pick and get it down there like that at that moment, like, I don't know what Love is doing there. But we will take it, and then to bring out the big bodies on and just punch it in with Judkins. Judkins all fired up, going down to the section, and then the blocked kick. I thought it was Ward first, but it was Shelby Harris.
Yeah, I think Ward definitely influenced it. He got a great jump on that. He's done that for years, dating back to Ohio State. He's blocked a kick or two in Cleveland too, that sort of influences a little bit of the peripheral vision of the kicker. So yeah, I don't know, man. That was what a wild range of emotions around it. And there's some bigger conversations to be had, but I don't even know if I want to get into them, because like for now, I want the euphoric feeling that we thought we were going to get week 1. I want the euphoric feeling that we crave doing this, talking about this. Yeah, we try to stay at Browns Film Breakdown as even keeled and very level-headed about the analysis, but those moments when you're with your family or your kids or your dad and mom watching the game, or your wife, whatever, like, you don't get enough of those in Cleveland. So to have those, I know Cody Sook, our coworker, posted him with his kids, like, to have those moments are really fun. So I hope you found, like, I understand that game at the end when the Browns had the chop block, had to move back, kick a field goal to go 10-3. Then they give up a couple chunk plays. It's all of a sudden like they're going to kick to win. I hope you didn't give up. Some people might have even given up when the fourth quarter drives couldn't find any result.
I was saying some probably rather absurd things to my son that will never go on the record, but at the same time, they won, and it was that moment where we are jumping around in the living room, hugging each other. So absolutely awesome finish. What did Steve say in the chat? We don't need to play 4 quarters. All we need is 5 minutes. 5 minutes, baby. 30 seconds.
Let's check on the formula here. Let's check on the formula you and I seem to talk about. Okay. Wanted to see if they could figure out at some point. And it felt like they were struggling with it for a while. They did get out possessioned time of possession, 34-25. Here, I'll share this with everybody because I like giving you a visual to actually see this. But again, it felt like it became complimentary by the end. The defense played really well throughout. Like we can't really argue that the defense didn't put together a phenomenal performance in this one that deserves, every bit of the attention. And we'll get to that. We'll break it down. I thought the rookies were really, really good as well. Brad, just phenomenal across the board there. And like I said, there's so many details to get into, but I kind of just want to try to break down some of the things we talked about. They didn't win the turnover battle, but they finally created one in the biggest moment of the game.
Did you think the Bush one? Did you think that was going?
The burden of proof, from what I understand, the burden of proof is getting tougher in these. So I didn't think that one was going to get moved. Whereas I thought it was strange that they called it down by like they didn't rule an actual fumble. Maybe they'll go back and look at that. It should have been ruled a fumble. I don't know why they didn't have it labeled as a fumble, because down by contact would infer that he fumbled and recovered it. But when the NFL's media page, as you see in front of you, covered it, they didn't have anything on, they didn't have anything on it actually being a fumble. So I don't know. They'll probably go back and rewrite, because it was clearly a fumble by every measure of a fumble or not. But I thought it felt like it could be kind of strange because there was nobody who came out of it clearly. And there was nobody, like you could make an argument for Bush, but ultimately it felt like the burden of proof is higher than it used to be on that stuff.
From the Bucks
just kicked another kick and made it. So they won after
the
giving
Bucks
up a
did.
kick.
Unbelievable, dude.
Oh man. Wild.
What from when he punched it out, they showed the angle from behind him. I was like, he's got it. Like he's got it. They show his white glove coming over the top of the football, and they're like, oh, I think he's got it. And then they showed the other angle. I was like, I don't know. They're gonna give it, they're gonna say the offense had it back or whatever. But what a great effort of plays like by them, but the defense just not giving in. Like down in back against the wall, up against the fence, in field goal position. They're still punching at the ball. Delpit was ripping at the ball on the kickoff, where he probably should have tackled him actually. But and then to have Ward come off the edge that way, they pushed him back just enough to make it a long enough field goal where you have time.
The false start helped, right?
Yeah,
that helped.
False start helped.
Yeah, you're right. 42 is just like a little uncomfortable, and they didn't get to center it the way they maybe wanted to center it. There were some elements there that were certainly in the Browns' favor. But again, I think it comes down to, Jason, thanks for the donation, man. I know you can do that via Super Chat, things like that. So we appreciate that.
Jason.
Everybody's feeling really good about it.
Much love, brother.
Much love for sure. I listen, they did. I mean, offense, we have to have a broad discussion about where they're going. Micah Parsons going to have like 17 pressures. They were allowing still free runners.
Yeah.
Parsons was unblockable, but the Browns did their thing on defense in the same way. And we want them to win an ugly, low scoring type of game. That's the outcome we got. And this is what we thought formulaically would be the thing that they need to win, which is just dominate defensively, which I think we can agree they, for the most part, did. A couple slip ups here and there, but you're holding a team to 10 points.
Yeah.
I mean, it was in a really good spot there defensively, but they did enough to keep holding, keep doing their job, keep pushing the field goal happen, and you never know on field goals inside that stadium what can happen. So they did their job throughout. And then obviously, late offense, the fourth quarter offense. I mean, I'm not sure I can generate this for us as we all sit here. I can pull up, like at halftime they had 100 yards. Yeah. What did they do in the third quarter? Did they generate very much in the third quarter?
Couldn't
yardage wise. Yeah. 12 net yards. So they basically, as the full game report has them at 221, they went for 100 of their 221 in the fourth quarter alone. So
a lot of it on the back of Judkins.
Right. 100%. And Judkins, great. I thought that catch and run from Fannin, obviously thanks Bradley. We appreciate you, man.
Bradley Bruns,
He
thank you,
said this is an
brother.
insane win. How do we get this offense to be more effective so we can rely so heavily to save our butts? I want to dig into that. I promise we're going
Yeah,
to cover in the next 7 days. But I want to focus on the really good stuff today because that's what we had. Judkins, huge runs, electrifying, like felt like, okay, they can release some tension here.
yeah.
Like we said, breaking tackles, that vision, stiff arm that I thought he was going to be really good because of it. Then you roll it into, you know, the catch and run by Fannin, where you can just sort of see what he's going to be when he's a creator after the catch. He's really good today, man. All these rookies, Schlesinger all over the field, leads the team with 9 tackles, a sack. Should have had 2 sacks if one wasn't wiped away because of the 12th man running off the field on the sideline. So he was dominant. I thought Mason Graham was everywhere again today, disrupting him and Malik Collins when they get paired together. Just again, like
Malik Collins is a menace up the middle. So is Mason Graham, and Devin Bush played well.
Devin Bush played very well. He's putting himself.
Really
we appreciate this. Yispert, I hope. I don't know. Maybe I'm saying that wrong. But thanks for the love, man. We appreciate those guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, I
big win.
The rookies collectively are clearly something that can change the tide of this.
Yes.
The quarterback discussion, the O-line discussion, we're going to have more of it. But the rookies and the class that can be at the forefront of trying to change a little bit of the culture here, all contributing. It comes down quite clearly to whether, Sampson with a quiet day. They only gave him 1 carry. He didn't really find the field a ton in this one.
I was going to ask that question, like, what happened to his role in the offense? Like, they're going Jerome Ford solely on third downs. And this is, once again, something we can dig into later, but it was one of my questions in my notes before the game went haywire, and the Browns won that game that they were down 10-0 in. But I wrote down, where is Dylan Sampson?
I agree. Right? Well, I agree. There's a conversation to be had about why. I understand last week with the pass protection wasn't very good, but you're obviously putting him up against Roquan Smith. I'm not sure. That's a great question. Hopefully that changes. I need more of him. I need more of the backs being an active part of pass catching instead of like swings and checkdowns. I need them to be more route runners because I think Sampson can do it. But we digress. Let's talk about the good. And Njoku, pretty good in this one from first watch, 5 for 40. He does his job. I thought Tillman had a couple opportunities. Even though he got the OPI on that one, he can't extend the arm. It was a hell of a catch up the sideline. I mean, it was a great layout catch. Pretty quiet day from Jerry Jeudy on 5 targets, only 17 yards. Could have had a touchdown, got held. But a quiet day for him. And then it seems like, though, man, they keep getting Isaiah Bond more and more involved. They want to get him the football as he has 4 targets too. So relatively quiet from the passing game and the pass stuff collectively. And again, I'm not surprised by that because they've faced 2 really good defenses in a row. And we know that, like, kind of right now, this isn't humming cohesively, and the quarterback play hasn't been very good so far. So again, not totally blown away by that. Is it something they have to rectify? Yeah. If they want to win 6, 7, 8, 9 games, yeah, they do have to rectify it. But I'm not surprised by it. I am surprised, and what I need to look at is I didn't think they were getting 2 people on Micah enough for my liking, leaving him on an island with Cornelius Lucas. But I have to evaluate it before I give a definitive take on how many times Micah was left one-on-one. The run game comes on late. Those runs late, 2 big runs, helps spur the offense, puts them on the right side of the field.
That's the difference. Because I don't think they get down the field or get back in. The only thing that was going to get them back in the game was a score. And Judkins, with the 2 runs back-to-back, was kind of just what gave them enough life, right, to get down into scoring range. You botch the series from the 1. It's hard to watch. But then you get right back down there after the Delvit pick, which was crazy. But so, and Shmee caps it off like only Shmee can.
I guess he completely figured out that issue we wrote about, leaving the front hip open, and he was nuts on the first field goal attempt, which was short, obviously only 35 yards. Although got to be careful with that after that first game, but he's good on the PAT. I thought they might go for 2 to really put pressure on Green Bay, but
they would too. I was actually
know,
calling for it.
Kevin was a
at
little
the time.
cautious on a lot of split decision more than he's ever been. And
The
maybe, hey, it
punt-
worked out. It worked
Hey.
out, but
The punt at this is the one I wrote down at the time. Once again, down 10, 4th and 4, on the opponent 40, 12 minutes left, punt.
yeah, not like him. He's always been aggressive in those. But again, he's leaning into defense.
And they did pin him on the 1 yard line. So
they did pin him. That was one of the few times. I didn't think Bojorquez was very good today.
No.
But they did pin them. So if you want to say, hey, lean on the defense, make plays off of it and all that, we can't really get that mad about being more cautious out near midfield. So there's give and take to your attitude on how they go about this. I had just thought on that precise moment you talked about, Brad, that they just hadn't had enough things moving positively. And it was a moment where I thought they needed it in a serious way. But hindsight, all that stuff, it works out. But ultimately, I can't even remember the series of events almost on some of those because it all happens so compact, right? Like,
so here, just a couple things on the series. Like, I just can't, like, this defense, like, you've got to give credit to the defense who, like, all day long, your offense does nothing, right? But yet they still bowed up, like, in situations that you would see most defenses fold. So they pin them deep on that play, right? And then they throw that nice little fade on 3rd down, backed up in their own end. It looks like they're going to get the ball back with good field position, and it's going to pay off to do the kick. And they hit Golden on a beautiful 1st down out to, like, the 30, right? And you're like, oh, my God, what a backbreaking 1st down. But they turn around and get a stop right away. Three plays, get a stop and get the ball back. And that's when Judkins broke those runs. But just like, I mean, the adversity you have to come over, or the ability to keep your mind in a game and keep playing after plays like that, like back-breaking plays like that, when nothing is going your way. But the defense just kept playing and kept playing and kept playing until they made a play. They got lucky. They got a bounce to go their way with Delpit, and they get a win because of it. But, and then to your point, like, it feels even better because the rookies were so much a part of it. Like Judkins, Fannin breaking tackles for a 1st down, but like the young guys on this team, awesome stuff, but like really gritty, just never say die from this defense, man, is really special stuff.
It's well said. It's well said. They continue to, they had some plays, the cover 2 down on the goal line. They give up a chunk throw. They have the 12 men on the field happen. They have some things come up, right? The bubble up stuff is still kind of pops up there.
And they were, what a weird ass play.
It was very weird. It's a new thing though, that you can challenge those. 10 of 18 on 3rd down. They weren't even like super effective on 3rd downs.
No.
But they generated a ton of pressure. They made Love very uncomfortable all day, and every throw was relatively challenged. And it's enough to keep Green Bay away from feeling comfortable being aggressive, away with feeling comfortable running play action concepts. This team, Brad, you wrote about it, as aggressive as anybody.
Yeah.
Throwing the football downfield. I mean, there were a few of them, but they weren't hyper aggressive. No. And I didn't think they were chasing a bunch of big plays. And I think Green Bay's probably playing a little bit of that, hey, we'll just defense this thing up and get out of here with a win. But that's where I was so perplexed why they run 2 jet sweeps at the 3-minute mark and get 6 yards and then decide to go empty and throw. I couldn't believe they wouldn't just punt it back and trust their defense to make Cleveland drive down for a touchdown the distance that they had to go. That's the moment. Yeah, obviously the moment with the block kick is great. There are moments around that stuff that happen, but it doesn't even, I mean, it's hard to say it's not going to get there, but it's hard to envision it, you know, the way the Browns offense was moving at that time, taking over at the 4-yard line versus taking over, you know, at the opposite 15, 20 yard line. That's a different world for the Browns.
He's going to kick himself. He's
Right.
gonna
And
kick
then
himself for that in self scout. Like they're gonna go
I'm
back and say that was the bad.
yeah.
In retrospect, we hand it off again and kick it off
Yeah,
and
totally
punt it
agree.
away.
Totally agree.
Um,
Justin, appreciate the love, man. Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
We try.
Justin.
It's sometimes challenging, but we are trying our best, man. Join us over at Browns Film Breakdown. We try to do the best we can on YouTube, but the community we drive over there is, where we're trying to get the best out of this experience for everybody. But having said all that, like I'm sure the post game interviews are happening right now. I'm not on Twitter because we're talking and all that stuff, but I'm sure LaFleur is talking about that moment. You obviously trust your your quarterback you think is elite not to make that throw, but obviously putting yourself in a situation where they decided to do that is something we're very thankful for. And a heck of a play by Delpit. Great job getting up and getting it down to the 4-yard line, right? So easy to just lay there and forget about it. The camera work on that block kick, Brad, was really bad because I was like, man, how do we not scoop and score that thing? But we'll have to watch it from the alternate too. But it looked like it took a weird hop on Newsome
because he spun around and Newsome was like on it like a turtle.
Yeah,
and I'm like, what is going on? Why is he not running?
And I'll give him credit too. Excellent execution on that slant to Njoku to get up there and have no wasted time and spiking that thing, getting a spot. Like the thing I noticed is that the official didn't even really touch it. He didn't set it. The Browns set it and he just let him go, which is kind of different. They usually have to get a hand on it and run away from it. It worked out though, man. They got the 7 yards they needed to get into the 55-yard range and you kick a winner. I have to think of the same. Go ahead, Brad.
I think it surprised the Packers that they were willing to go over the middle because even the announcer was like, they probably have to go to the sideline here. It takes about 14 seconds to get lined up. They did it in 7 or whatever.
Yeah.
Because they were Njoku
was kind of getting held up. He was like not immediately didn't get down, and he kind of got held up, kind of fighting for yards. So it was close, but man, I don't even know the range of emotions going from like the chop block. They only got 3 points at the 3-minute mark. They're coming back out. They pick up 2 first downs. The game's over, and then you have 2 just like the amount of things like walking through it mentally. You go, you like you said, they come back out. They have to kick the 3. They come back out. They get it to 3rd and 3. You get this random interception nobody saw coming. You get that down to the 4. You throw a slot fit. It's kind of like, all right, to throw a ball in the first play. I get it to an extent. Then you run it and they score. It's like, all right, go for 2. They don't go for 2. They kick it. They make it because you're still nervous about every kick right now. Then you come back out. They give up a DPI, right? They give up a Tucker Craft play action drop off that went over Delpit's head, which Delpit had some good plays. He had some funky ones too, but he had some really good ones as well. But then they're down. It's like they're at the 20-yard line, and all of a sudden, Brad, it's like, all right, they're probably going to kick and win. Then a fumble strip happens, and you're like, do they get the ball back again? Then they're kicking. It's like then it's blocked. Then they got a chance to throw a couple completions. That was just a lot to take in.
Insane.
In such a short amount of time.
We watched the whole game, and there was enough plays to talk about in the last 5 to 5 minutes that make up a whole nother game, right? It was like 2 games.
It really was. You felt so defeated at the 3-minute mark until Jordan Love really gave you life at the end of that one.
I think if Harden gets his head around on that DPI, I think he's okay.
I do too. Sometimes they'll blindly call it too, man. Like if the official up the sideline has his back, the receiver's back to him, and he doesn't see the head, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't love that call either, but I also think it's gotten to the point where they'll just throw that flag. You know what I'm saying?
If you don't turn your head, they're going to benefit the guy that didn't turn his head. They're the wide receiver. They're just going to throw it.
Yeah.
If it's close, if there's any contact, and he did get his hand on his hand, like on his arm, but I thought it was like kind of like contact. But I thought Harden played pretty well when he was in there. He wasn't exposed or anything like that today. So good job for him. My guy Dom Jones only got in for a couple plays, but I mean the defense just, I just cannot get over.
They'll keep you in games. That's what they'll
And
do. 14 penalties for the Packers, Brad. 14 penalties for 75 yards for them. Browns hold another team under. If you take away the Jordan Love runs, I understand it. You're not really game planning for zone reads with Jordan Love pulling
those were
getting
good
18
calls,
yards.
though.
They are good calls. They are good calls, and it worked for them for a little bit. But you take away those runs, it's like they bottled up. Josh Jacobs had 16 carries for 30 yards, man. There was nothing there for him. They break his anytime touchdown record, which kind of hurts our FanDuel parlay. We're like knocking on the door. Don't lose faith
right
on
there
us, guys.
at the end.
We're knocking on the
got
door.
there and Njoku got there, right?
Yeah, well, actually, I don't think so. Fan only got to 25, and Njoku got to 40, but Fannin only got to 25. Well, he had an 11-yard completion on a third down. They wiped out because of the offside. So that would have hit. That would have hit. We'd have been everything except for the Jacobs touchdown, which they got down to the 1-yard line and threw to John Fitzpatrick or somebody random on their goal line package.
It's a tough play there where Schlesinger just kind of is running with the guy. He just stops. That's such a hard play for a linebacker, right?
It is. It is. It is for sure. We're right there. FanDuel stuff is going to work out. I promise we're going to get you guys a win soon. Yeah. Brad did that one. He built a really good one, and it was right there to be had. Keep coming by. We appreciate FanDuel for the support, obviously, sponsoring this podcast. And they continue to pop out those profit boosts, too, man. We love what they're doing with the profit boost. So we're going to hit one
this morning, too.
If you're only doing the $10 ones, we're only $30 in the hole collectively as a group here. And we're going to hit one that's going to get like $250 or $300 in your pocket. And you're going to love us. So stick with us. Anyway, we digress. Okay. So the similar plays, average game was pretty similar. The defense did their thing. It comes down to one team made a field goal, 1 for 2 on field goals. One team went 2 for 2. That's what it comes down to ultimately. But yeah, Brad, I mean, you feel really good about so many of these elements going at, like, I guess my question would be, what does this win do? Does it launch something for you? Does it put you in a better play? Like, this win can have some ramifications because they played good teams. That's the thing we're talking about the offense, and we're going to talk about where it goes from here and how it gets better, hopefully, is that they're playing two really good defenses the last 2 weeks. Really good. And it's like, does this now launch you into Detroit's not as good as these two? Good, and it's a road game. It's tough. Yeah. Good. Minnesota, we'll see. They put Jake Browning in a blender today. Wow. They blew out the Bengals bad. But
he looked awful.
Yeah, I just think that, like, remembering these are some really good defenses and the pass rush for the Packers was absolutely frightening is something to keep in mind, although also wanting this to be better. They got to throw it better.
Yeah, that was the thing, and it was almost like I had questions about what to do at quarterback just because Joe couldn't move and the rush was coming. And I was like, is it worthwhile to put Gabriel in just because he can move out of the pocket and extend a play and they maybe make a play downfield that Joe just can't move? In the end, he did enough, right? Ultimately because of the defense. But I mean, is there a larger conversation to have around quarterback going forward at this point?
We do. We need to look into whether he's the biggest thing holding them back or whether the offensive line is giving him zero time to find solutions. It's probably, in like everything in the world, a little bit of both. Joe's not playing well, though. But I think the question we have to ask, and the fair question of all of this, is maybe Gabriel comes in and he's the same. But is that the result you want? Do you want to put him in the most chaotic situations right away these next 3 weeks? Detroit, Minnesota, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh created like 5 turnovers today. That's the only way they won. They created 5 turnovers and won 21-14 in the final minute. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I don't have the answer. If he's playing really well at practice and he's balling and he's making it difficult, there were reports before this game from people around the organization that they're close to putting him in. If Joe is the problem when they watch the tape again tomorrow, then they might consider it. I'm not totally there yet, but I also understand people's frustration with it at the same time.
I'm not there yet either. I agree with you. I think I would still go Flacco, but like I will readily admit that there were times in this game where I was like, this feels hopeless on offense. Just put Gabriel in. And I was like saying that, like, what's it going to hurt at this point? And I know that's like a knee jerk reaction of someone during a game when you're watching offense that is really struggling. But there were times where it was like looking like he can't move. They're getting free runners at him. They've got to do something different. And ultimately, they stayed the course, and the defense.
To be clear, guys, after a win like this, I would not expect Kevin to be like, "Hey, we're switching quarterbacks next week."
Yeah,
that's not a Sunday announcement after a huge win. I just think the leash they will continue to be in the direction of like giving him a chance. But I continue to think that they want to get through the first 6 weeks at all costs. Today probably grants them wiggle room to get there. That's probably it.
That's what I think about the win. I mean, the win is like, if you could get out of this 6 with 2, I think you could feel okay about where you're at. Like 2-4 doesn't sound great, but it's really not the end of the world when you think about you've played like the hardest part of your schedule.
Yeah, I agree because the back half has a lot of opportunity to get some games. If you look at it, it's pretty open at that. I mean, again, if you can get to Miami, you can find yourself believing in what they're trying to do here. Get to that late season push. But I'm not. I guess what I'm saying, Brad, is I'm not in a giant hurry for the rookie quarterback. But I could be wrong here, and he could play really well, and we'll all shut up. But I think that unless we watch the film, I'll watch the film tomorrow, and I'll tell you whether the quarterback's holding him back. And if he's holding him back to that extent, I will be one to say I think they probably should give Gabriel a chance here. It is hard to go to Detroit in that dome and get it done. It's hard to go in London and play Brian Flores on a tough turnaround of travel against when they'll already be there. And the travel will be less ridiculous for Minnesota. So I just, can you get through 6 weeks at 2-4 and maybe 3-3, and then you find a way to like Miami's coming to Cleveland and give him a chance. Tackle situation, I agree. Broken arrow tackle stuff is concerning too. You're down, Jack. The Dewan thing today, like I thought you couldn't go low on offensive linemen anymore. And not that the penalty changes the injury, but it should have been 15 yards. I thought you can't cut linemen like that anymore was the thing that they were trying to prevent. Maybe that's outside the tackle box and they deemed him on that screen to be inside the tackle box. There could be some rule on that, but I need to get some clarification on that in the next 24 to 48. I will try to do that. But the tackle stuff, they need Jack back. That's clear. I thought Batonio played well. But yeah, I don't know. What else you got, Brad? Anything before we close?
With the wand, it's a hyperextension is what they said. I'm sure they'll do tests on it, whatever. But it did not look that bad hyperextended wise when we saw it.
How much swelling is the thing? Because it snapped backward a little bit, not extensively, but it definitely definitely went back. I wonder
if that's like a short-term thing or a long-term thing. Honestly, to give the offensive line credit, they were awful at first, but they did better in pass protection as the game went on.
Yeah, felt that way. It certainly felt that way. I agree. I'm trying to look at stats now.
They figured some things out schematically to help them. You were getting chips and stuff like that.
Rashawn Gary was the one with 2 sacks, but I think you're going to see a large pressure number from Micah when you see the turnaround stats on that. Were you bothered they didn't kick the long field goal before half?
A little.
Yeah.
I was like, try it. Points are a premium.
The point thing's hard. Yeah. I agree with you. I think it's just like we haven't had many chances to get across the 50. Let's just try to get 3 up before half. And I think it was the same distance or close to the same distance, right?
Close to the same. Might have been a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But he was good he was pure from 61 on that last one for sure.
He drilled it.
Which is
Calf
where
must be good.
Yeah, that's where they kept drawing that green line at 61, and I was like, 61? Dang.
Long one.
He has been super conservative at the end of halves all season. Like, really trying to play the clock down. And it benefited them in the Cincinnati game because they got the 3, but they never tried for a touchdown. Remember, they just wanted to get off the field, not give Burrow the ball back, and they played it real conservative and just got it into field goal range and let the clock run down. In the past, I feel like he's tried to be more assertive to put the ball in the end zone there and double up or whatever. But a couple times this season, it feels like he's just been playing for a field goal at the end of the half, and then they didn't even try that one there.
It seems like he's really afraid of negative plays via the sack because he doesn't trust the O-line to hold up, and I think he's recognizing now through 3 weeks that Joe is there's some internal clock stuff that's going on with Joe. So yeah, I mean, if Dylan is healthy and his hamstring's not a problem anymore, he certainly is not a great athlete, but he's like a they're a similar level athlete that he can get out and punch out of the pocket and make plays on the move. He had plenty of plays running the football at Oregon on that tape. Zone reading a little bit too, like in a similar world of athleticism to Jordan Love, where you can pull it and, take off with it on some of those gun run reads that keep teams a little bit more honest. So I'm interested, man. The quarterback stuff feels like it's creeping up. It's just a matter of how patient can they be, but they needed this win in every conceivable way. I mean, you cannot overstate is the right way. You cannot overstate how badly they needed to get a game here in these first 3.
Locker room,
all of it. There's going to be some fun videos.
Buy-in, everything that you've been playing for 3 weeks, where you should have gotten a win, and the defense has played well enough to win 3 times now. Yet this outcome is like a miracle for that locker room, for this fan base and this team. It gives you life.
Everything. Couldn't agree more, Brad. Gives you some life around the whole operation. Gives you some belief you can win those ugly games, that they need the belief they can win those ugly games. And yeah, maybe it gives you some belief that Kevin can get guys to still buy in, right? And all of that. I mean, they need those wins this year. So good for the Browns. Good for Browns Film Breakdown. Good for all of you watching. Come join us. It's going to be a fun week. I promise. Victory Monday pods and the content that comes out around wins are very fun. So come join us at Browns Film Breakdown. There might even be a Flash Monday sale. You never know. Keep your eye out, folks. We appreciate you, Brad and I, stopping by, and continue to subscribe to everything we do and follow us on the socials, TikTok, Instagram, all of that fun stuff. And then obviously come to the website. And if you're here, also smash the like and subscribe button. That helps us, people on YouTube find us. So we would very much appreciate that. If nothing else, we're putting out YouTube videos like 4 or 5 times a week, so we can have some content there, and obviously continue to trudge forward and talk about this game, how they get better, and a great opportunity to go to Detroit and spoil a game there. That would be really fun. To get 2 against the NFC North would be pretty wild. So. Can't wait to see it. I'm excited to cover the team this week. It's a big week for your Cleveland baseball team. They lost today, but they're still just 1 out because the Tigers lost. Can't wait to watch all that unfold.
Tigers
we get the Motor City Classic in the regular season, man. I love it. Can't wait for it. We'll be there to cover all of it. Guys, thanks for being here. We appreciate you. Fun week ahead. And as we say, especially on days they win, go Browns.
Go Browns, baby.